On YouTube.
That is my best friend, Corn Dog. Oh, sorry, I'm the Corn Dog. You're the Ass Hat. But we've been called both interchangeably, so you can do so now. Nathan, we are doing a PayPal request from Miss Harper. I wish she was here joining us in our Discord channel, but I guess she's unable to make it. So let's just plug our Discord channel. Guys, if you like what we do on YouTube and you want to join us live and chit chat with us between videos or watch us record live, come join our Discord. It's free. What's not free is full album requests. So thank you, Harper, for this PayPal request. The Grand Illusion. Nathan, have you ever heard of Styx, the band?
Heard of them? I don't know any of their songs.
You know two.
I know two.
Because I know two.
Oh, okay. What are they?
Okay, well, from this album...
Oh, wait.
I know the...
You were just singing Come Sail Away, so...
But that's the only part of it I know. Like, if you were to say, Ryan, how does it begin? I just know the whole chorus part.
Okay.
I think
I've heard
ends
it
with
lots
that.
on the radio. Like,
it's been a long time, though.
Well,
like, it's been a long time since I've heard it. For me.
So you don't know this about me. I worked for a number of years laying carpet, and that was the only thing we listened to was Canadian classic rock radio. And this played... That song feels like it played so many times.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm looking forward to hearing it again, to be honest with you, because I know that I like the song. I just haven't heard it probably in decades. I mean, I can't even imagine the last time. Put it this way, I've never put that song on myself ever.
Yeah.
Like, I've never said, I'm going to listen to this song. Well, that just shows you some of the popularity of some of the bands that we listen to where you'll know enough of them just because they're just out there in the world. But I've never once in my life said, I'm going to listen to Styx. So
Gotcha.
I'm looking forward to rehearing it and reading along with the lyrics about it. But before we get to that, the other song of course, is Mr. Roboto, whatever that one's called.
Oh, that's a Styx song?
I believe so,
Domo obligato,
Mr. Roboto. Domo. Yeah, actually, if you joined us in our Discord, we were doing our own Japanese at the beginning of the song. But please, hopefully nobody recorded that. Okay, so let's just go get
Don't. Careful what you do.
No, I just I wasn't doing anything other than stumbling on my own words. Okay. This album came out in 1977, and at this time, Nathan, already in 1977, this was their 7th studio album. That's insane to me.
Yeah. I mean, I was 2 in 1977, so...
So was I.
Yeah.
And they're still currently a band doing things. I'm sure they've had some band member changes and probably people have passed away. But here we go. It's 8 songs only. 4 songs on side 1, 4 songs on side 2. The Grand Illusion. Let's just see. The release was a smash worldwide, selling more than 3 million copies in the U.S. alone. Some estimates have the album itself around 6 million worldwide. And I'm sure it's been streamed millions of times since then, too, right? These are just physical copies sold. So, big album. The album launched the band to stardom. Okay, so this is can you believe it? Their 7th studio album. This is kind of like what I say to any band or anyone, even like a YouTube channel like us. Like, you don't know when, not that we'll ever be stars, but the point is, you never know when your audience will come.
Yeah.
Like this is their 7th studio album, and apparently this is the one that got them to stardom. Like, this broke, their sales and stuff. So it was probably the song "Come Sail Away." They also released "Fooling Yourself" as a single, and the title track also received FM airplay, but was never released as a single. So I wonder if we'll recognize the title song because it was on the radio.
So this song right here, then, yeah.
Yeah, The Grand Illusion. So apparently that was on the radio, though never released as a single officially. So, I guess could radios do that? I don't know anything about radio.
Can they release songs like that?
No, can they just play whatever they want?
Yeah, I think so. They just don't because they want people to keep coming and listening to their channel or to their station. So they just play the ones that everyone's listening to. I think. I don't know. I know they can. I know that they can play whatever they want usually. Right? When people did you do requests all the time.
Yeah.
But
good point. All right. All right, Nathan, let's go.
Okay.
Let's do this.
All right.
Grand Illusion.
All right.
I don't know why I wasn't expecting kind of guitar sound, but I like it.
It's like Dire Straits a little bit. It sounds like a video game. I don't know why.
Yeah, like a NES game.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say something.
No, I'm just, just like, I'm
Yeah, wait, I loved it.
pondering what I would say.
I liked it a lot. It was kind of what I was hoping for / expecting, but also not what I was expecting. I don't know how to explain it. I mean,
Sure.
I've heard from a lot of different people, of course, throughout just throughout the years, even on my first channel and this other channel that we're on now. A lot of people have mentioned Styx, and I suspect, and I would venture to guess they have a lot of amazing songs, deep catalog. And already with this first song, I can kind of see the draw. But what's really interesting to me, of course, is we talked about it. This was 44 years ago this came out. And but it has that 70s sound, which I've always loved the 70s production sounds. I don't know what it is about it, but the guitar tone there was amazing. You got 2 guitar solos in one song. I'm a big guitar guy. Like, I love guitar solos.
Yep.
And it was even like a little the solo was a tone that was going to be a little crunchier. We talked about the Dire Straits tone, and that, yeah, it was a little bit crunchier, the tone that I was expecting. So the vocals, of course, are nice and clean. He's the singer DeYoung. I believe it's the main singer. He was 30 when this album was made. So getting to his prime of his singing, you could say 30s. Probably has strong vocals. He's not new to it anymore. And yeah.
I guess I imagined myself in this time period listening to this and going, like, I can see where the appeal was to this song.
Mm-hmm.
I can really see, like, and when I put myself in the shoes of, guys and girls in that time period, just listening to this and going, like, yeah, like, it's not too edgy, like, it's not like way out there, too hard to listen to, but there's a little bit of a poke there at, America Spells competition, join us in our blind ambition, get yourself a new, like, there's a little bit of a, yeah, capitalism, is it working? Like a little bit of a, but it's not enough. It's not enough shade to kind of go, capitalism, it's killing us, it's stupid, stop using it. There's just a little bit of that, like, hey, like, can we at least ask some questions? I don't know. So I see it as like, oh, I see why it was appealing. It doesn't, there's, when we have done some of the prog kind of bands and tried to make sense of sometimes some of the lyrics, I can see why that would alienate a lot of people, whereas this would draw in more. That's what I'm saying. This would draw people.
Yeah. It's a slightly prog-ish, but I've said this before about prog. Prog sometimes loses itself with its own concept. And I don't mind time changes and complexes, but I like this song was like, I can still listen to it. I don't need to be impressed by your ability. I just want to hear a song played.
Yeah.
It
makes me think, when people said, like, do you listen to prog? Yeah, I listen to Styx. Do people go, or do they like, oh yeah, Styx?
Well, I don't know if they are they considered prog. I mean, even by their this album was considered, according to Wikipedia. Oh, okay, yeah, rock, progressive rock, pop rock, soft rock, hard rock, Broadway, even. Ooh, weird. A lot of genres.
Yeah, he's got a lot of vibrato in his voice.
Yeah. So Nathan, just before you start the next song, according to Wikipedia again, I guess they do. This is a band that does more than one vocalist, which I always kind of like that when bands do that. So the next song is sung by Tommy Shaw. Tommy Shaw is he is the acoustic and electric guitar, does that work on this album, and he's singing this song. So Fooling Yourself, which was a single from this album, the second single, it's Tommy Shaw, a different singer, on lead vocals. There you go.
Cool. Like a Bach sound to it.
Yeah, this is that prog way. This is prog way. Kind of early Genesis sound too, in that they have this kind of a long intro before the song kicks in. That theatric. It's a super tramp feel to it.
Yeah.
So Tommy Shaw was a young 24-year-old kid on this song. And this was his second album with the band, so he came in on their 6th studio album. And I love how, I guess, I don't know his story, I just know his age, and that this was the second album. But it's interesting because Dennis DeYoung was 30, so a little bit more long in the tooth, and he done all the. I would assume Dennis is probably there since the beginning, and so Tommy comes along, great guitar work, a little bit younger, and they've already given him like a full song to himself and the second single from this album. That's great trust from the band. Because 24 is young. Maybe I'm just old, but I look back at 24 and I'm like, man, that's young to be a part of an established band too. So, yeah, I love the synth sound in that song as well. That was a nice keyboard work, and I think DeYoung was playing the keyboards there.
I was looking at the lyrics for this one, and I like a lot of things about this song. I like all the things that you mentioned: the keyboards, the changes, the bringing it down to minimal and then build it back up. I like those kinds of changes in songs. It's well written. It's a well written song. The lyrics are great for a while, but then I don't know if you notice it, just like the chorus, I don't know, it's pretty generic.
Keep in mind is he was 24 when he wrote it.
Sure, yeah. I'm not trying. I'm maybe just too overly critical. It kind of
you're allowed to have.
It jumped out at me as like, oh, like the other lyrics are really like strong and they're very deep, and then it's kind of like the other ones they're a bit cliche, and they're not meant to be like cliche to like how sometimes some lyrics are cliche to like poke fun at cliche lyrics. These ones are actually just cliche, so it's okay.
No, that's fair. That's a fair assessment. Yeah. And that's your feeling. This is reaction channel. You're allowed to. That's your reaction. Like that's what you felt in that moment. So please share that, just because it's All right. So on the next song, Tommy Shaw is singing again. But there's a spoken part, and that is spoken by Dennis DeYoung. So if you hear somebody talking, that's him speaking, but Tommy is lead vocals. It's called Superstar.
Superstar. Is this the one that we know? No.
No.
Okay.
It's. How would you?
That's a lot of fade out.
Yeah. Common back then. I always find the fade out funny when I hear it, because I'm like, the people that were playing, whoever the band is, they're playing full energy, full singing. Like, but then the producer's like,
they're just people thinking, have we stopped yet?
Yeah, they're still doing it right now. Great song. This is a great album. Really, I mean, you hear a little bit of the Broadway there with the spoken part. You can almost see that being performed on a stage type thing. And again, written by Tommy Shaw. So when he says, I saw you in the 14th row or whatever, I wonder if he's talking about his own, if he's really speaking to some girl or someone that he saw in the 14th row at a past, tour.
Yeah.
Or whatever. But
I think I've accepted the cliche kind of choruses as like, that's just who they are. Like I'm not trying to be overly critical at it. I can see I see it again here.
I knew you were going to say something.
It's kind of I like bands who are clever with their lyrics, and so there's parts that are kind of like, oh, that sounds clever, and then when they're not as clever, I just go, oh, okay, maybe it's not for me. But I understand that some people absolutely love this and are going to be very critical of me for saying it, but I'm not trying to, like, I don't know, if I were to tell you, oh, they're great, I love them, then I'd be lying to you. So
are you talking about the lyrics or the songs?
Like, I like the music side of it. I really enjoy. The lyrics are just, I don't know, they look simple to me, but it's just me. Like, literally some of the lyrics are intended to be simple, though, and so I get that sometimes that's just what lyrics are. So I'm not gonna say like they're bad or they're wrong or I don't like them for coming up with this. It's just.
No, they're a little bit, I think, compared to maybe some of the other bands we listen to. Won't say any names, but it just, I'd mentioned early Genesis, and that was something that Peter Gabriel and Phil were very good at doing. It was writing very complicated, almost like, what the heck are they talking about? So maybe this seems simple, but like I've said before, you don't need to overcomplicate things. For me, Ryan, I like it. I like music that also just. I don't want to think too much about what you're saying. Just say what you mean. Enough allegories. Just sometimes it's just nice to know what you're saying and to know what it is you're talking about. So this is an album that's doing that for us so far, and I like that. Yeah. I don't mean that for all the time, but like you're saying, but I've accepted that for this album. So I'm just digging the. Oh, and I wanted to say too, sorry, that I really love that we talked about it before, the gang chorus sound, like when a bunch of people singing. I love that sound when they got the high pitched voices singing. I love that. The 70s were great with Boston did that, Chicago. I just love that vocals that men were doing back then. It's cool, like these high vocals. I don't know why I like it, but okay. Let's the next one we know. Well, it's Come Sail Away. You know much more than I do. Like I said, I'll know it once I hear it, and I'm sure it'll come back to me because my parents played the FM radio all the time when I was a kid. But I've never put the song on myself. I haven't heard it in a long time, decades probably. So, Come Sail Away. Here we go. I've certainly never listened to the lyrics. That's for sure. Like read the lyrics.
I'm having flashbacks of laying carpet.
DeYoung is singing this. See, I didn't even know it started off this way, slow like this.
You can sing this song when you go out to the Navy.
I don't know this part. I guess I don't know this at all.
It's really good tonal quality to his voice. Really solid.
Yeah. Nice timbre.
I like it.
Not a vocal coach.
Sounds good.
Oh, it's going to pick up, but up to you. No, I don't think I've ever heard the whole song.
Really?
I don't remember the first part at all. This is now starting to sound familiar, but I feel like I've just heard the chorus. This part here? Yeah. This part now, yeah, but that's it.
This is when I start kicking the carpet really hard.
I don't remember it. I don't know if I've ever heard the song all the way through. It's great. I can see why it was very popular, of course. Great build-up song. Maybe I only heard it like on those commercials when they had those like buy these DVD or these CD box sets and they would show snippets from bands. Maybe that's because I don't recognize any of the other stuff other than the guy chorus part.
I can almost smell the seaming tape.
Love that chord sound there. I love it. Oh wow. Okay. Oh, another fade out.
Come fade away.
Come sail away. Yeah. Let's sing it, Nathan.
Hey, come fade away. Come fade away.
You gotta do the fade out.
Come fade away. Come fade away. Come fade away with me. Come fade away. Come fade.
It's like the producer's like, no, we can just turn it down. You don't have to be quiet. The drummer's like,
keep singing loud. Keep singing.
Yeah, like I was saying before, and I just feel like I've heard this now for the first time all the way through. I don't think I've ever heard the whole song. The chorus is very familiar. I knew the chorus before listening to the song, but if you had played the first 2 minutes of that song before we were doing this, so you didn't tell me what the title was, you just say, hey Ryan, listen to the song, tell me, have you heard the song before? I'd be like, I know I haven't. So in many ways it was the first time listen all the way through for sure for me, by memory anyways. And great build up, great chorus, I love that electric acoustic combination. I've always enjoyed that sound of the acoustic electric together. Nice little guitar solos at the end, and I can see why this is a very popular song. I mean, look, it's a good song. You can see why it's even 44 years later. It doesn't age. It just sounds good.
Yeah, I feel like I've seen like parodies of this song on like Tenacious D kind of style, where they like
probably
use similar kind of lyrics and But anyway, I've heard this song so many times. Like as soon as I heard the piano at the beginning, I was like, "Oh right, that's how this starts." and I'm jaded. I will say that I am very jaded because my carpet laying years were not the best years of my life.
I'm sorry. I prefer linoleum floors than carpet.
Well, I did that too. What?
Nothing.
I don't get it.
Don't worry about it. It's a stupid joke. Okay. Side 2, Nathan. Let's roll over to side 2. This song is called Miss America. Lead vocals is actually now a fellow named Young, James Young. Oh. He is the other guitarist for the band, but this is the only song on this album that he sings lead vocals on, and he's also the writer. So let's hear what he sounds like.
All right.
Miss America. Back to that Prague, medieval. Where art thou, fair maiden?
I didn't think it would go there.
Guitar. Yeah, no. Almost sounds like Gene Simmons.
Yeah. Ooh, I like this.
That's great. Dirty.
Yeah. I like that riff a lot.
Oh yeah, this is So this was a 28-year-old James Young. He does the electric guitars on this album. Specifically, that's what he does. And he played the synthesizer in Come Sail Away. So yeah, he's the electric guitarist on this album. So there you go. So he's probably the leads that we've heard. So you can sense from the lead souls we've heard already from the electric guitar on this album. He's kind of got a little bit more of the rock, kind of the dirty rock sensibility. Like he would almost belong in a band like Aerosmith or something back then. Like he meets a band member of Styx, but you can kind of sense he's like, guys, I've got one song. I just want to get this one off my chest.
Yeah.
You know, because it comes out of nowhere. I loved it, and I'm loving this album so far. But I love it when band members from a band have a kind of a one-off. They just want to throw on the album, and the band's like, sure, throw it on. One of my favorite bands when I was a teenager was, of course, Guns N' Roses, and they did that with the Use Your Illusion albums. That was what I loved about them. You got Izzy singing, Duff singing. You got different band members, doing tracks, which is cool. Anyway, so yeah, that was a great song.
Yeah, it was, in my opinion, probably the best song in the album. And I know that will divide people and say they hate me or whatever, but I liked the other music, just to be fair. So if anyone's coming at me in the comments,
you're allowed to have Nathan. You're allowed to have. I think off the top, it's okay. I think so for me too. I think it's the most fun I've had listening to the album.
Yeah.
Is that song. And now, and then people are saying, well, why don't you just go listen to a heavy rock and roll album then? This is medieval rock. Well,
that's what those people sound like, by the way.
That they do. Anyone that gives us those comments on the internet, did you know this is the worst? Why did you pick this version? I don't understand. Okay, so the next song. There should be a rule that if you say, why didn't you show us the video that we should have done and then tell us, this is what I wanted to see. All right. Man in the Wilderness is the next one. This is sung we're back to Tommy Shaw again.
Okay.
He wrote this and he sings this, Man in the Wilderness. I really like this one. The little flute there, windpipe, maybe, or the keyboard.
It's keyboard.
Wow.
About time.
I like that. Oh, come on now. Nice. Boy, this song has everything. Well, they love the fade out. That's their
30-second fade out.
Probably when they're at a live show, they're like, how do we end the song? I don't know. Okay, everyone just play very quietly as we fade out.
Just walk down the stairs off stage.
Yeah.
Can't hear us anymore.
They tell the fans, everyone close your ears slowly. That was an awesome song. I love that song. Yeah. That's a sucker for Ryan song. It had everything that I love. The build up, that guitar solo would have kicked in with that wow wow wow. It was like whoa. It's like it sounds so dirty. It was just so like I love that bar room sound. I don't know how to describe it, but this is interesting because. Regarding the song, Tommy Shaw, again, he was 24 when he wrote this. And they opened, so Styx, they broke out with this album. That makes sense because when they were touring before this album, he was with the band for the first tour, right? Like, this is their sixth studio album, but Tommy was touring with them for the first time after that album. And they were opening for the band called Kansas. And I only know a couple of the songs. Of course, there's one song, Carry On My Wayward Son. That's Kansas. I don't know anything else by them. Anyways, but I get what he saw. So Tommy said about Kansas that when he saw Kansas play, he says they were epic. It was like unlike any presentation of rock music I'd ever experienced. So he's 24 seeing this band live on stage. And he goes, to go that big opened up all kinds of ideas in my mind. And the next time I was alone with my acoustic, the song that we just heard, more or less unfolded itself. And he says the lyrics stem from his experiences of rising to fame himself with the band Styx, as well as his brother being sent off to fight in the Vietnam War as a pawn for the politicians in Washington, D.C. So there you go. So it's a combination of his brother off to war and also him being a star. It makes no sense at all.
Right.
It's weird.
I liked really musically everything about that. Felt very like real, I guess. The musical side of that I quite enjoyed. And it's like something stuck in my throat. I just can't get past the some of the lyric writing. I just feel like, oh, it's like a missed opportunity. Like, I mean, it's a very deep subject here, right? You're talking about somebody who's struggling with his emotions, and um, I yeah, just there's a part of me that feels like, oh, I wish I could have been there when they were writing it, to go like, do you really mean like man in the wilderness? Like, do you mean more like something a little less generic? I don't know, just me.
All right, well, clear your throat. Come on now. We should note it that Chuck Panonzo and John Panonzo. Chuck is the bass player, and his brother John is the drummer. Another sibling percussion backing. Yeah,
I think it's fairly common in a lot of bands where you got like one or two members that are related.
Siblings. Yeah. Well, yeah, because they play together and like, hey, let's go. It's like a 2-for-1 deal when they go form a band. Yeah, cool. All right, the next song is called Castle Walls, and the next two songs are both, this song is written by DeYoung and sung by DeYoung, and the next one's sung by DeYoung as well. But the last song is also DeYoung, Young, and Shaw write it. But it's only 2 minutes, the last song, so what we'll do is do Castle Walls and then just segue right into the grand finale, because I wonder if it bleeds into it or something like that. Like, it's one of those things where...
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I sense some soloing coming up.
Yeah, that, or it's a very nice little blues sound there. Like, I haven't really heard any of that yet.
Either that or a 3-minute fade out.
Yeah, right here. Here's the solo right here. Nice, very subtle. I'm sure we're going to revisit it. Where's it going?
Organ solo.
Yeah, nice.
It's like boss music.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Have you ever heard Alan Parsons' projects?
Well, yeah, they're generally, yes. I probably know about as much as him as I do about Styx. A couple songs.
Gives me that vibe pretty strong.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
With nice harmonies.
Yeah, I love it. Another great song. This side, too, is really strong compared to side one. Like, if you compare the two sides, it's not very often. Usually it's like side one has all the... And granted, side one did have the singles, did have the quote-unquote hits, but this side two is... I love it. Every song so far I've loved on side two. I mean, I love first side, but if I'm going to compare it to flip the LP over, I'd probably listen to side two quite a bit.
Yeah, for a B side, it's pretty much... Yeah, I agree with you. If I owned this album, I'd be listening to this side more too.
All right, so the last song. What did you think of that song? We talked about it throughout a little bit, but I love the guitar solo. The guitar solo was amazing. Love the harmonies, and it had that kind of like that medieval sound at the beginning, but then turned into like a rock song at the end. Yeah,
I love that it built up, and you get some very blues kind of soloing happening in the middle there, and yeah, I liked it.
All right, so the last song is called the grand finale.
Well, it is the last song.
Well, it's the last song, very cleverly titled.
Here it comes.
It does sound very Broadway-ish, like the curtain flush, the cast is out. Yeah, everyone's on stage, waving to the crowd. Fun little closing track there.
I'm curious to know where Queen is at this point.
They're there. I knew there were some similarities, and to be fair to Styx, and not to say they're copying Queen, there's a few bands that were sounding like that, if that makes sense. Queen was very good at it, but they weren't the only bands doing those theatric sounds and Broadway type production, and they were just probably the most popular, but they were definitely around at this time, yes.
Yeah, it's just interesting that that's the sound that I'm picking up on, probably just because of a lot of those bands. It feels like Queen kind of got the lion's share of the popularity.
They cast the biggest shadow for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really enjoyed that album. I actually really did. I was fully expecting to hate it, but I actually quite enjoyed it. No, I really, really enjoyed it. I just enjoyed it more than I thought I was going to, because I was like, oh, it Styx. They seem lame. They seem silly. I don't know what I was thinking because of that stupid Mr. Roboto song. So I admit, I was like, I didn't know what this album was going to be like. But it turns out that it's very, 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 very good. I actually quite enjoy it. And I'm not just saying this. I'm going to put this on my rotation because this is some great guitar work solos. I love the chorus sounding of the vocals. Yeah, good stuff. Thank you, Harper.
Yeah, thanks.
Very cool.
I think my opinion is I went into it similar to what you said, and my opinion is raised of them. I hope that people aren't thinking I didn't like them, because I did like them. There's just it's not exactly in the area that I enjoy. It's just I've listened to that sound from that one song for so long that I got a little tired of it over the years of hearing it over and over and over again. And
Sure.
and so that particular sound to me is worn out in my brain. So that's all.
All right. That's good.
Yeah.
It's fair.
Yeah.
You're allowed to. I think people come to our channel because we're honest. We don't just placate every song and jump out of our chairs and.
Okay, guys, here we go.
It was so good. Everything about it was amazing.
Those stupid thumbnails. I want to punch every freaking YouTuber that has those stupid thumbnails with like this. Like, why are they? Oh. Oh, that was just the random thumbnail that came up.
Yeah.
Anyways, okay. All right, Nathan. Well, that was it.
Well, that was it. Bye, Styx fans. See you in the next one.